Hello guys, Revenger here, and today I am making something different than my recent videos. An interview with Please Enjoy Game, one of the best players in Oz and High Star Maps King.
Hello there.
Okay, so how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Just play it for a while. Feeling a bit tired now though.
Oh, okay, so I will try not to make you feel more tired by my questions. I hope they are pretty easy to answer.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one. A pretty general one about yourself. What are you interested in besides Oz?
I guess not really. I don't really play other games, so I usually just spend my time either watching other streamers, like for example Tyler One. Well, no one likes him in Osu anymore in the community, but like just other streamers in general. Not really. No, just not really. No one in specific, and some anime.
Oh, okay. So it's actually pretty usual, right, for Osu player to watch anime. Which one is your favorite series?
I don't think I can pick a favorite series. It's always what's hot right now that I care about. I mean, if you watch a lot of animes, I don't think you can ever pick one favorite one out of like all of the hundreds you watched.
Okay, but can you pick like your favorite category, like maybe romance or action?
It'll probably be action.
Okay. So like mostly shonen ones?
Yeah, like JoJo.
Oh, okay. Pretty popular series.
Yeah.
Do you listen to any music?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music whenever I'm free.
But which are your favorite bands or genres?
The one that created Higher Tight Man. I listen to that every day.
Oh, okay. So now the question that just can't be not asked in any interview about any Osu player. How and when have you started playing?
I think I started at around very late 2015 or something like that. Yeah, and it was because my friend introduced it to me. That's why I started playing it, and it's been about 2 or 3 years since I started.
Well, that's not a lot of time because, well, some players like Kukizi or Web of Wolf, they've been playing for extremely long time, like 7-8 years, maybe even more. So your progress is extremely fast. Why have you progressed so fast? What do you think is a secret?
I honestly think it's just enjoying the game. You can't really like progress in anything if you hate it to the core. So if you just think of what kind of player you want to be, you aspire to be, and just fix your eyes on those goals, then work towards those goals. And I think it's just a step-by-step process. Never rush it, but never give yourself a break as well. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Do you plan on ever getting back to being a regular ranked maps player and playing mostly just to get PP? I don't think so.
That's an interesting question because I've gotten so used to unranked maps. I'm pretty sure 80% of my maps right now are just unranked. So I just play what I see fit. I don't really care if it's ranked or not. I don't consciously keep up and say I don't want to farm this or whatever. I just play whatever I see fit, whether it's ranked or not. And it always ends up being unranked. That's the reason.
Oh, so this is a pretty good attitude, I think. Do you describe yourself rather as an HR or DT player?
I strongly insist that I'm neither of them. I don't consider myself a full hard rock or full DT player. I consider mods as just game modifiers, and I think I should learn all three, as in like no mod, hard rock, and DT. I just treat them as modifiers, and I don't really consider myself any type of player.
Okay, so the next question is, I think, quite related to this. On your OSU user page, you wrote that everyone has his specific skill set. What skill set do you think you have?
Probably jumps.
So aim.
Pretty much, but aim is very, very subjective because it's basically moving in your eyes and using a cursor to keep up with it. And it's very, it depends a lot on your everything from the way you view the game to the point where how your grip works. Everything will affect how you play. That's what I mean by play styles. Everyone has their own play styles, which leads to their own skill sets. No one is ever a duplicate of another person. We're all very unique individuals. We all set out our own plays, and we're not a carbon copy of each other. That's what I think.
Yeah, really wise words. By the way, talking about playstyles, I can recommend you my friend's channel called Circles, where you can see different playstyles by a lot of players. It's pretty good, actually. What an advertisement.
Wow, that's a very interesting channel. I'll be sure to check it out, man.
Is there anything you would change, fix, or improve in OSU game itself?
I personally think I would change the PP system, but not in the way that everyone expects me to say. I would say give the option to cover up. Give the options to cover up your rank. Just straight up that. Personally, I think that people who want to farm can farm, and people who don't want to farm, well, they can have the choice now to not look at their rank. Because I think that PP, while being very inaccurate, in my opinion, as a representation of skill, I think it's pretty inaccurate. But personally, I think it's also motivating to see that number rise, especially for new players. As they see that number rise, it gives them meaning to continue playing the game. And when they get to a certain level, then they can decide how they want to branch out as a player. But that starting point is always the hardest to get motivation because it's just circles. You have to find your own meaning in the game. That's what I think. So covering up the rank is probably a good solution.
Yeah, and sometimes PP even leads to addictions.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, there are some extreme cases like that. But that's an interesting suggestion. Like I have never heard actually anyone would like such a request, but that's really interesting. I think I would also like to see such a feature. Which other top players do you admire the most? Like, who is your favorite one?
Favorite one? Cookiezi, basically top 5, Rafis, Vexe, everyone. So I think that goes to show like those are like the for sure I would pick for top players. But I want to mention players that really motivated me when I was starting off. So people like Kanan, he was extremely big part of me when I was starting off. Really, he was basically my senpai at that point when I was 50k, and I was looking at this guy playing 10.3, and I was like, holy shit! And then yelling "Python" every 30 seconds. Python. Yeah. There's a lot of players. I respect all players, but these Rafis and Kanan are probably the two players that have the biggest influence to me ever because of how they were with me as I progressed. More like more like there were two people who I could look up to and really just feel motivated to continue playing because I aspire to reach even just near that level, and I'm just that would be just like a dream for me back then. So definitely those two are a player in their own class, players in their own class.
Yeah, nice. Have you ever had a moment when you wanted to quit the game? Quit W?
Crit W. Yeah, there is a point where I was PT farming and I was climbing pretty quickly, but soon it caught on to me that um, it was very stressful and everything was just suffering, as in like my eyesight was suffering, my grades were already suffering, and I felt like although I loved the game from the bottom of my heart, but I thought that there are better things, there are more important things to do in my life. And as you can see, I did not choose these important things. I chose circles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we do. Just circles
Yeah.
instead of real life.
Who needs friends, man?
Yeah. Which category of maps is your favorite? Like technical, maybe jump, maybe stream maps?
I would pick straightforward jumps. Like I like full screen jumps, and I like to push myself on full screen jumps. So yeah, those are definitely my favorite types of maps.
Yeah, we can see that on your channel that you have like 5 videos a day, full screen jumps, God mode. Do you often get stressed while doing a good score?
Oh boy, always, man, every good score. I have like, wait, let me check real quick. 16. I have 16 8-star 1 miss chokes on all different maps.
Wow, you counted?
Yeah, I'm counting, man. Road to 100 soon.
Wow.
So that goes to show I am very stressed when when I'm coming to an FC on a good score, and well, it ends up in my choke folder.
Yeah, I know that feel. Everyone does. Most of us does. Like, I think not being stressed is kind of inhuman.
Yeah, it's just how you manage that stress, man.
Yeah. Can you agree with a statement that also plays an important part in your life?
Definitely, I think. Definitely. Because considering how I spend almost all my time in Osu, I don't think I can say it's not part of my life. It is part of my life. It is the biggest thing I have ever done in my life so far. So I definitely, if one day Osu just disappeared, I would just be left with nothing to do with my life. So yeah, it's a big part of my life.
As I can see, you are a religious person. You often openly speak about your faith, which is a really brave move in my opinion. What have you learned in Bible about competition, wins and loses? Because these are things we need to deal with while playing Osu every day.
That's an interesting question. I strongly believe that God wants people to reign. God wants his people to reign. And prayer is an expression of grace. So when the most humble thing you can do is to say that I'm nothing and I cannot, but God can. So effectively you're entrusting everything to him. You're saying he's everything and you're just human, you're nothing. And when God opens doors, no one can shut it. No man can shut it. And when God closes doors, no man can open it. I believe that when you set your eyes on Jesus, you can do anything. Just as how Peter set his eyes on Jesus and he could walk on water. So if you fix your eyes on him, you definitely can do anything. And I also believe that the facts of this world, everything will come to an end. That is for sure, even facts of this world will come to an end. Like, for example, the fact that the sun gives light and heat to the earth will also one day, that fact will, well, it will end as well. But I believe that his truths will outlast even facts of this world. When everything ends, his word will remain. And like a lot of people have been, it's a lot of controversy about this topic, because a lot of people think that just because I strongly believe in my religion, it means I disrespect every other religion. No, I don't. I respect everyone, and I treat them all as people, as individual people that are nice. I don't shit on people just because I have a religion. But I strongly believe that this is where I stand, and I will not back down because of, well, people flaming me, and this is, I know where I stand in this.
As I said before, expressing your faith so openly is really brave of you. You have really interesting thoughts. Any tips for players aspiring to play as well as you do?
Whenever someone says they aspire to play as well as I do, I think of it as, my first answer in my mind is don't, because you don't want to be a carbon copy of me, because that you're not me. You see, you're your own player. You are special. So don't look at me as this perfect player or whatever. Find your own thing and pursue your own aspects. It's very good to be motivated by other people. I look at top player plays all the time, and I'm motivated by every single one of their plays. But it all comes down to what, like, how do I say it? What you want to be and what you are, because you shouldn't just pursue this top player because he's like that, so I'll be like that. No, I personally think this, you should find your own aspect, find what you find fun, and whoever talks shit about you in the sense where they're saying this aspect doesn't matter or whatever, you just ignore them and go your own path, because you don't owe anyone anything when you play. It's more like pursue your own aspect. Find yourself. Don't be a carbon copy of someone else. You're not a robot, you're a human being.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A lot of beginner players, I think they try to copy, for example, settings like tablet area or grips of some top players, but it often doesn't go well with them, and well, this is not a really good thing. So you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say 100. That's just my opinion.
Which one do you think is the best score you have done so far?
Oh god, another hard question. Oh god. Oh man, I don't know.
Seriously? Well, you have a lot of these, so...
I can't decide, man. Oh no.
I read that you have like 4 8-star FCs, so maybe choose one of them.
Nah, those are... I don't look at my FCs as anything special. I prefer extreme plays. Maybe I'm not too sure, but maybe my Tengoku run for... It was mapped by someone. I don't remember who it was mapped by, but it was 9.81 stars. Yeah, maybe that play, I think.
Oh yeah, seems pretty impressive.
Yeah, I got the A rank and I was really shocked that I even passed it. So that one's probably one of my favorite plays so far.
Do you have any goals you want to achieve in OOS?
Many goals. Improving myself is always a goal, and how I judge how far I have to go is by other top players. Like, for example, if I want to think about aim, I would think about Cookie Z and every single score he's done. I totally aspire to be pretty much as good as him, but of course there will be scores that will be different, as in the sense where stuff that he can't do and I can do, and stuff that I can't completely even start with, and he can do just with ease. It all comes down to we are our own players, but I look up to him as a kind of like a goal to look forward to.
Yeah, so you get motivated by him.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you should like put his poster with his face on your wall or something.
That's too far, man. That's too far.
Yeah.
I don't think he would appreciate that either.
Some of those players like make their own Cookiezi shrines and pray every day.
Oh god.
Okay, so we are coming to the last question. What do your friends or family think about you being one of the top OSU players? Do they even know about you playing circles?
My friends are very, very supportive. They watch my streams, they compliment me, and they're really supportive overall, and I'm really grateful for every friend that I know. And for my parents, my dad doesn't really like it, but he has to deal with it. My mom is okay with it as long as it doesn't affect my studies, but it is, so yeah.
My mother says like OSU is like putting beans on the table. I don't know what does she even mean, but well, she apparently doesn't really like it.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so thank you for letting me interview you. I think this interview was really interesting, and a lot of people can know you better. So thanks again.
And thank you for the opportunity.